Hello and welcome to part 2 of Geometry Notes, section 3.1. Here in this figure we're dealing with a cube, and what we can assume about the cube is that all the sides are parallel to each other, and all the angles in the cube are 90-degree angles. So what we can also assume here is that each of the segments of the cube, so for example this segment here, we can assume that each of those kinds of segments has a line going through it that connects that segment. So like I said, each of the segments here, we can imagine that there's a line going through that segment. So in this diagram, and other diagrams, anytime that you see a pair of arrows like this, that indicates that those two lines are parallel. And you may see something like this where you have a double set of arrows. That means also that those two lines are parallel. So let's go ahead and consider this problem number 1. And we'll go ahead and consider this problem number 2. But for your homework tonight, you need to look at problem number 1 here, this cube. And you need to answer the following questions. So number 1, A, B, and C. So name 2 pairs of parallel planes, name 2 pairs of parallel lines, and name 2 pairs of skew lines. And again, remember that in the diagram we can assume that each of these segments has a line going through it that we're going to use to answer those questions for number 1. Then for number 2, same type of deal here. We're going to name 2 pairs of corresponding angles, 2 pairs of alternate interior angles, 2 pairs of alternate exterior angles, and 2 pairs of consecutive interior angles. And we're going to be using the diagram here for number 2. Bring your work for Tuesday in class, and we will do some practice problems dealing with this in class. So have a nice evening.